Welcome to the Comedy Here Off the Podcast. I'm your host, Kevvy. This week on the show, we have Shirley Gnome.
Hey! How's everybody's quarantine?
Oh, jeez. It's good.
Are you loving it? Is it old to you yet, or has the novelty worn off?
All of time has become one moment.
Yeah.
So I can't tell I don't know how long I've been here.
Yeah.
I'm in a quantum singularity. I'm trapped in a causality loop.
You're like a science fiction novel.
I have been watching a lot of Star Trek. That's probably why I said all those things.
Yeah, that's why you know those terms. I feel like subconsciously I was asking for something like this so I could catch up on things, but I think I'm actually more impatient now than I was when I was allowed to go outside.
Oh, impatient about what?
Getting things done, or I thought I'd be like, well, if there's no timeline for anything, then I can just really take my time. And I'm finding that I'm more impatient with my projects than usual for some reason. So I'm hoping that tapers off. Like, do you two feel like you have little things you're like, well, now I can work on this aspect of my personality?
Yeah.
For me, it's patience.
I just
For me, it's my core strength.
Yeah, that's
that part of my personality sucks.
What
were you saying, Alexi?
I've just been beating myself up for like not getting things done.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've become a better person.
That's good.
Also, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel a lot more well balanced. I have my self-care routine that I can actually do. And I just have time to breathe and reflect and just be one with my home space. Mm-hmm. That's nice.
That's all really great.
Yeah.
I do know.
Healthy. That's so healthy.
It is. I think there's some kind of balance to be struck between like the amount of productivity porn there is out there about like, you have time to finally do everything. Like that kind of hyper anxious fear of not taking advantage of this completely weird opportunity. And then on the other side, like, complete depression and inability to do anything because of lots of different things and not getting stuff done. Yeah. So
I definitely am guilty of being like, okay, here's your chance to write your solo album and your script and read that whole bookshelf of books, and then I get mad.
Yeah. Yep. It's weird. It's so much opportunity that it can be crippling. It's a real first world issue, but I guess it's a global issue right now because everyone can't leave their house and lots of people can't work. So
I was just talking to Graham Clark, and he was like, what are you up to? And I was like, oh man, I'm so, just what I just said to you. I'm like, I'm so impatient. And he's like, relax. He's right. He's right.
You can burn a day. You could just burn an entire day and there are no consequences. It's just
I'll be alone with my thoughts.
Well, there's those consequences. But then you could just wander around your apartment and look at stuff, right? Because that's your new hobby, isn't it?
Yeah, I text Shirley that's my new thing. I just walk around and look at my stuff. I got some good stuff.
Just rearrange.
Do you have new hobbies, Alexi? Any new hobbies you've developed?
I've been going on like really long walks.
Really?
And then like crossing the street whenever I see people. I've just been like walking all around, like not the city, but like the residential areas, and like just avoiding people, like crossing the street.
Yeah.
And so staying safe, but yeah, just really long ass walks.
Nice.
Okay. Do you find
you
that
say
that's not a skill. You're asking
you're
about
a good
skills.
person.
Well, hobbies.
You're a very good person.
Who?
You.
Me?
Alexi.
Definitely not me.
Yeah. No. I would never say that to Shirley.
And I know that. That is true.
Or
I'm
myself.
becoming a worst person, possibly. I'm, jury's out, but I think I'm degrading.
Well, I really like your outfit. So,
speaking of degrading, I'm so taggy. I had this shirt. I'm white trash, so this is totally my fucking aesthetic. I didn't have to fucking order this when Tiger King became a thing. I just fucking love this tiger with the rose.
Already had it. In fact, I heard Tiger King's influenced by you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone did everything terrible because they heard a Shirley Gnome album.
Well, Decoxification came out and then Tiger King comes out. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Not a coincidence. Nope. Confirmed Illuminati.
Did you two watch that show?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I almost wore a mustache for this just to look like him because I'm like pretty close to looking like the guy because I have the shirt.
Yeah.
I got the bleach blonde hair. All I needed is the mustache and maybe a little bit of psychopathy, and I right in there, baby.
Let's face it. I know you own a fake mustache.
Oh, I own several.
There's a shelf just dedicated to your fake mustache collection.
Almost. I got a lot of mustaches. Definitely disorganized. Okay. They could go on a shelf if I perhaps got my shit together on that.
Maybe a museum one day.
This is the mustache she wore on purpose.
Just keep them in little jars.
Yeah.
Formaldehyde. Creepy.
It's just floating at the top. You can't see it. Happy album release, Shirley.
Yay!
What album? There was no album. There was just a pandemic.
Pandemic. It's the perfect soundtrack to everyone's pandemic.
Well, it's certainly a distraction from everyone's pandemic if they can, find out that it exists. It is really weird because it got released on March 13th, which is kind of like for North America, was right at the time when it became really serious, when it was no longer just that awful thing that was happening somewhere else. It was now that awful thing that's going to make us all stay inside. Like that's when the album came out, like right in the middle of that. So it felt very strange.
Still went number one though.
It did go number one on iTunes. That's true. And it stayed there for quite a while, and it stayed featured for even longer, which was really cool. So okay. That was the whole experience was like, oh my God, society's crumbling, but my album's doing well. Oh, my whole tour got canceled. Oh, you're number one on iTunes, like all in the same days. All these festivals got canceled, and then I did a live stream concert that went really well. Like everything that's been good so far in like the last month is all coincided with a really shitty day on the larger scale of things. So really weird, really fucking weird.
I've been like finding that just through my conversations with my friends and the topics that we talk about, I always link them to a song off of your album. Like it's just, there's a song for every occasion.
I'd like to know what those occasions are.
We were having
examples. Cite your sources.
Okay, well, I'm going to pull one up, and I'm going to tell you about one while I look for the other one. But we were talking about Me Too, and I'm like, hey, well, you should check out this song. Me Too.
Yes, it's a great song to talk about to wrap up a song about entitlement and rape culture. Kind of a sort of a soft button to put on the end of that, which is kind of the point of that song.
Oh, exactly. Shirley, can you explain the genesis of that song? This is so funny.
Well, basically, and I went back and checked this over because I'm like, did this really happen? But I had a conversation. Someone was asking me if a song I already wrote actually was a reference to rape culture and male entitlement. And I was like, no, that's just based off the title. Like, no. And he's like, well, you should write that song. And I'm like, I don't want to. And then I kept pushing it. And I was like, I'm feeling really weirdly uncomfortable. This seems oddly familiar. I think for a song. Basically was it. Not right away, but I just was like, the whole issue of like the concept of that like certain men have taken it on to be superior in order to have their identity means they push their opinions and what they want without even realizing they're doing it. And it's like, it touches on so many different parts of life. Yeah. And that's, I kind of realized that in that moment, this person who had all these really noble intentions for wanting to support someone like me writing a song like that, because it's of course very difficult to have a song about something that dark, but was doing it in the exact way that was the problem in the first place. I was just like, this irony, I feel like it's just fueling the universe right now. It's so strong.
It's very meta.
It was a meta experience, and it's a meta song as a result. It's so meta, I'm in it twice, like one doing the duet with, I didn't hire a dude to do it, I just did it myself.
Oh, for the like the recording? Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because you do like the live one with Harris.
Yes, Harris I did. Anderson. Yes, good old Harris. He took on the mantle. And originally the thing that kind of inspired me to follow through with the idea was Harris and I were going on a tour with Comedy Here Often, and they thought it would be great, since we're both musical comedians, to do a duet. So we both tried to write one, but he finished his first, so we did his. But I wrote that one, and so he was sort of supposed to be the one that sang it, but since I tour most of the time by myself, I needed a backup plan for how was I going to do this? Like what's going to be the signature of this? And it was going to be me doing a duet with myself, having the male part as a puppet. So that's what I ended up figuring out how to do.
And you did that, and then for some reason it still was like not hitting properly live, right?
Yeah, it was frustrating because I knew the song was good.
Yeah.
But every time I did it live, I did it twice with the puppet, but I had my voice as the male part pre-recorded. Yeah. And what I've learned about puppetry is that it's complicated, and I don't know what I'm doing. And the audience has to sort of get used to the puppet, and I just bring them out right away and start the song. So they don't have a lot of time to just get used to the fact that there's a puppet on stage and how the puppet works and how the puppet talks. But then they have to also be processing the lyrics. So the combination of it being a pre-recorded thing and a puppet, like people's brains just went. And I didn't know that until I actually played it back for the puppeteer who made me the puppet, to be like, what am I doing wrong? And he's like, you got to do the voice. You got to do the voice live. You have to do both parts. Like, woo, that's a fucking vocal marathon, but I'll give it a shot. And then as soon as I started doing the voice myself, the song started landing, and I was like, oh, there. Okay. Yeah. That was the problem. Turns out it is a good song.
Yeah. And then you were like,
oh, there for a bit.
and then you're like, this is working, but people aren't mad at Harris Anderson enough. So let's bring him into the fold.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely more fun because most of that song is the male part, and it's just me reacting to it. And it's fun because I wrote the male part. So for me, it feels like it's like a writer's room kind of a moment where I'm on stage being like, I did that.
So good.
Yeah. And I love doing it with Harris, and I hope I can do that more often because he really nails it. Yeah.
Harris is so funny. His song Hometown, also his album that I produced, you sang the backup vocals on the album.
I didn't even know him yet.
I know. And then you two toured together with Yumi and Fatima and Kevin Banner.
That's right. And then I realized what a huge mistake I had made by being on his album. I'm just kidding. Oh no, this pile of horse crap. What am I going to do now? Just tarnish my reputation. I'm just kidding.
I hope you go on his and Sam Tauning's podcast, Sound Judgment, because
they've tried to have me on a few times. I've just been too busy. I got plenty of time now. They should ask me now. My fucking horse friend, Mr. Horsey, just riding it around my house. I need to work. Someone call me. Anyway,
that was very Looney Tunes of you, how you did that. I respect that.
I really enjoyed that.
I think that was good.
It's a good frame, you know, get some comedy potential with the frame, you know, like you can just go.
Hey, I think I see some stairs over there. No. And then the song that was most stuck in my head during the recording process of your album, Nickelback's Not So Bad. I think it is maybe the catchiest song I've ever heard.
Yeah. It is catchy, but then again, it's based on, I basically shoved 5 different Nickelback songs into one song, and Nickelback's got really fucking catchy songs. So that's, basically I just sort of tried to rip them off as stealthily as I could, and it ended up being very catchy. Chad.
If Chad sued you, that'd be the best thing for the song.
Yeah. Well,
but Chad had to give permission, and he did.
Yeah, he did.
That was such a victory when that happened. I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Although he'll never sue me though, and that's the real tragedy of the story. So
Chad-Gedy.
It's a tragedy.
That's the other song, by the way, that I was sending out to all my friends, and it was only because they'd send me something regarding Nickelback. They'd send me a meme or whatever, knowing that I work at 604, and I'd be like, well, do I have a song for you?
Yeah.
I'm about to dismantle your whole argument.
By the way, Alexi, I think the title of this episode is Chad-Gedy. Real
Okay.
Chad-Gedy.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
I'm here for it.
Yeah, and then the virus hit, and then Jonathan, who owns a label, hit you up, and once again, like the comedian who told you to write the Me Too song, told you to write a song about the virus.
that's true. I do respond well to being told by men what to do in my career. Yeah. Well, it was a good idea. I'd like to think of it less as being coerced into doing something more than it was a creative prompt that I consented to.
Exactly.
Look, when the boss man comes and says, "Hey, make a song," and then we'll do stuff with it, I'm like, why would I not do that? That's let's
Perfect.
do it.
So you wrote and recorded it, sent it to me, and that night I did my production and mix on it, and then sent it back to you, and you made the video that day, and within like 2 days it was out.
Yeah, it was pretty fast.
So crazy. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, I guess I had nothing else. I literally had nothing else to do, and I liked the distraction. There were, figuring out how to lip sync to words you don't actually know yet because you just wrote the song while holding a camera. Woo! It was definitely, it was a thing. But great 2 days. Great 2 days.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. It came out a lot darker than I was thinking it would. I know it's like, and I was a little worried about that. Not worried, but when I talked to the head of the label, I was like, I have a take on it, but I don't know if it's going to age well because things change so quickly. And he's like, who cares?
I think people will always like spaghetti, so I think you're safe in that regard.
I think the spaghetti hoarding
in time.
Yeah,
I did. It feels like I think some people respond to dark humor really well and some people don't. Like there's like, I've also noticed things that people are really gravitating towards in terms of Corona art are like positive things, things people are doing to like stay happy and have silly fun to survive this. And it's like a more hopeful thing. Whereas mine is just making fun of people for hyper panicking and actually making things worse for everybody, which is, it's a darker take and it's a bit critical, and I that's just what I had in my heart that day, and that's what came out.
Well, I mean, like, fair enough though, because it is kind of a dark topic. So to like be like, oh, everything is great, we're gonna get through this together, and paint and like go outside. It's like no, it is dark.
Dress up and dance in our ballroom, ball gear in the ball gag.
Ball gear, ball gag.
Ballroom. That's it. I don't know. I was thinking about balls a lot. That's pretty lonely. I don't want to shit on anybody that's getting happiness out of the joy porn that's out there, because I've certainly watched my share of joy porn too. I've seen some pretty great shit out there, people being ridiculous, but but for me, it just my take was a little more not realistic, but just cutting to the dark fear that is the situation and trying to slice some satire into it.
Right. Yeah.
Gotta snap people back to reality.
Maybe a little
There
bit.
goes gravity.
Mom spaghetti.
Oh, right back to it.
Wow.
Nice.
Do you know that the epicenter of all music is spaghetti?
I haven't had spaghetti in years. You're making me miss it.
You haven't had spaghetti in years?
No, it's not a go-to for me. Yeah, I'm sorry to really bring the mood down.
That's dark.
That is dark.
Whoa.
Yeah, got sad. Normally we will talk about day jobs stuff, but I feel like you tour so much, which is technically a day job for you.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest stuff that's happened in overseas tours to you?
Overseas. Well, that would.
You do fringe festivals all over the place.
Yes, I do. I'm trying to. Someone asked me, like, I get this question a lot, and so many crazy things have happened to me on the road that they all blend together and I forget about them.
Yeah.
And I think things that are actually totally, completely nuts might not even register in my brain as crazy anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I have a friend who grew up homeless for 15 years, like the first 15 years of his life. He did not have a house. His mom was a bit of a grifter, and they moved around all the time. And he will just casually drop stories like, oh yeah, that reminds me of the time I got stung by a scorpion on my penis on the banks of the Rio Grande. And you're like, what? And he's like, huh? Like, he's like, what? He doesn't, it was so normal to him.
That's what he gets for fucking the beach.
Don't knock it till you try it. Just dig a hole and go for it.
Could be a scorpion there.
So, yeah.
Sex.
My life is probably way weirder than I think. I just think I've normalized to touring so much. But I think I have a go-to now story, but it didn't happen overseas. That's the thing.
That's okay. I
is
still
it?
want
Is it okay? Is it really okay?
I mean, we'll see.
Oh, wait. This one actually did, because it was on Vancouver Island.
Okay.
I did a show. I won't say where on the island, but I did a show, and then the company. I guess this was in my earlier years, and I was a bit more. More of like a Rolling Stone and a little less prepared for things, and I yelled from the stage I didn't have anywhere to stay, which I would never do now.
No.
I know better, but I was like, obviously I wasn't going to go to someone's house I didn't like, but there were it was a good time, and there was a good community there. And I was like, I need somewhere to sleep. And then a really nice lady was like, you can come and stay at my house. And we had chatted earlier, and she seemed cool and is cool. And I went to her house, and it turns out she is a professional dominatrix, and I slept in her sex dungeon. It was awesome. Like, she had everything, and I was really curious, and she was very gracious, and we stayed up smoking weed, and she answered every single question I had about professional dominatrix sex work.
That's cool.
It was really cool. And then I just fell asleep looking at the cross, that they strap people to, this is something that doesn't happen to most people. # blessed.
This is before hashtags, though. I just remembered such a fucking weird. I did that too. Fake Shark, Real Zombie, the old version of my band. Absolutely. Yeah, it's common, right?
All right, I thought it was
common. Your stories are. No, my old punk band, we were on tour with a band called Cancer Bats, and we were playing in Edmonton. We played in a skate park, and I said the same thing. I was like, we don't have anywhere to stay. Can we stay with anybody? And this guy came up and was like, they can stay with me. Said that to the merch person. But I used to really roast the crowd back then. And so at one point during the show, I just pointed at some guy and I was like, that guy came here to give you all STDs. And then we just moved on with the show. And then we got to that guy's house after, and he was like a hippie kind of guy. Yeah. Probably 20 years older than us at the time. Uh-huh. And then we get to his house and he was like, that was me. You said that STD.
Oh no.
He's like, and I didn't like you for about 3 songs. And then I just realized it was part of the joke, and I was proud to be the punchline of it. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, you guys want to hear my music? And we were like, sure. And then I start looking around and realize there's all these wedding photos of him on the walls, but it's just him in the photos. And then someone in my band was like, who's the person you married? And he's like, I married myself publicly. And we're like, okay. And then he was like, yeah, and I broke into West Edmonton Mall and tried to free the seals. And we were like, we're staying here tonight. And then he was very hippie, peace man kind of, but he was so angry. He was showing us his music, and he was showing us the secret song, which was him chastising the bass player in his band for being late. And he was like, isn't this funny? And it was just scary. Yeah. And then at the end of the night, we were going to sleep, and then he was like, Kevvy, you can, there's no room for you. You can sleep in bed with me. And I was like, that's okay, thanks. He's like, no, seriously, it's either in my bed or on the floor. And I was like, I'll take the floor. But I had to sleep on the floor in front of the bathroom. And he was like, okay, well, I sleep naked. And then in the middle of the night, he stepped over me.
No!
Yeah.
No, that's weird.
You're right. You don't know how weird your life is until you can compare it to somebody else's weird stories, I guess.
You say it out loud, and you're like, oh.
We just gonna sneak by you here. It's fucking, oh my God.
Yeah.
Can we talk about, I feel like this is a weird personality that has repeated itself, because I've also met the angry hippie before.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating. Like the peace and love will fucking kill you. Yeah, it is overcompensating for something, isn't it?
Yeah. Huh. They're doing what they feel they should do, but not what's truly in their angry heart.
Yeah, and they're trying to cover up their anger with the peace and love thing.
That's a lot like religion. Oh, I should cut that out.
Got political.
Too political. It's got to go.
Well, no, you can get as political as you want. You're surrounded by atheism.
I'm dancing to your political commentary.
Yeah, that's the appropriate response.
I paused. I was like, oh shit. I hope neither of you are gonna get offended by this.
You know who you're talking to?
I know, what am I thinking?
From coronavirus.
I just ask all of my imaginary friends. Is anyone here offended by that astute observation on human behavior? No? No?
What else I realize is a trope in successful movies is loneliness, because so many movies have popped in my head. I'm like, this is kind of like Castaway. This is kind of like Dawn of the Dead. This is kind of like Last Man on Earth. This is kind of like,
Totally.
Yeah.
Loneliness. Alone together.
Here we are.
I just like that Alexi thought she was going to offend us just now. Good luck.
I just had to search my brain and be like, who am I going to offend here? Is this okay to say? But then I was like, I've already started saying it. I have nothing else I can say. I have to just say it now.
No turning back. And that's good pod right there.
It's excellent pod. And it's not the idea of religious or spiritual belief operating as like an opiate is not a new concept. This is one that people have been discussing in philosophical circles for centuries. So anyone who's offended is a total snowflake cuck. Just kidding.
I myself am just becoming a Quaker, but by that I just mean I eat oatmeal every day.
That's weird because I'm also exploring becoming a Quaker, but it just means I wake up shaking all the time.
Same here, and I just wear buckles. Lots and lots of buckles.
Thanksgiving. Shirley, have you ever had an encounter with a ghost?
Yes. We already talked about this last time I was on the podcast, though.
No more ghost experiences since?
Well, let me go. Let me just you know how your life's so crazy.
Go to a haunted hospital or something?
No. Have I been to a haunted house recently? No.
Haunted building would be, I feel like abandoned hospital is top of the list.
Oh yeah. There's a spot on the Coquihalla where there's an old resort that's shut down, but someone smashed one of the doors open so you can go inside. Wow. I felt like that place was haunted for sure. It's that spot. I think it's on Roberts. I think it's called Roberts Pass. It's you can pull in. There's a visitor center, and right next to it is this hotel, and it's got this weird smell, and it feels like there's not enough oxygen there, and there's pressure. So it's dark, and but there was so much stuff that we stole out of it.
What did you steal?
We took cutlery. There were so many glasses. We just started grabbing as much as we could, and then. It was me and my pal and compatriot in musical comedy, Wes Borg. We also grabbed some art off the walls, including some pretty dope pictures of trains, the Rocky Mountaineer. And I still have one hanging up in my room.
I hear it's haunted.
Yeah. It felt haunted.
That train is haunted in that painting.
Oh, you think the actual painting is haunted?
Just the train in the painting.
Oh.
Don't get on it.
What if I get so high by myself and try to crawl inside like a Harry Potter movie?
Yeah, it's like The Simpsons with the spruce moose. Okay.
Exactly. Get in.
I've been considering Disney Plus just for The Simpsons, but I still think I don't like family movies enough to really commit. Because all 30 seasons. Yeah, all 30 seasons. It's the reason people seem to be getting it. And then they're like, I guess I'll watch Frozen 2 also.
It's so good, though.
Is it good? I did an Instagram live the other day, and someone's like, have you seen Frozen 2? I'm like, what the fuck? Why would I see that? It's a fucking kids movie. I don't even
I'm the same as you, Shirley. I feel that way too, but most of our contemporaries are very into children's movies.
Okay. And Alexi, you saw Frozen 2?
Yeah, I cried.
Oh. Like we are the odd people out here. Like most people like family movies except you and I.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, here's the thing. All time is one moment now. So, if this goes on till July, out of sheer boredom, I'll probably put it on just to see what everyone else is talking about. That's why I watched Tiger King. I wasn't, if I had just was like, a bunch of assholes who own tigers, fuck that. I'm not spending any of my time watching that. But, peer pressure.
Yeah, I love peer pressure. Makes me do stuff. I love it.
Yeah. Guides me in the right direction.
It guides me in a direction. What about if something is still not good enough for boredom? What an insult.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Enough.
If you're so bored, then it still doesn't do anything. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know though. Are we getting so bored because we have access to so much entertainment and stimulation that you have to up your interest in it, or does it degrade and you will watch anything and get excited? What do you guys think? Because I'm not quite sure I know where I'm at with that.
I think I get overwhelmed by how much is available to me, and then I sort of get bored in that. I don't know.
I'm trying. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say that I'm trying to make it a treat so that I'm not just spending all my time doing it. So I try to have a productive day until about 10 at night, and then I turn my phone off and just watch something and really pay attention to it. That's how I'm trying to do it. It's not always successful, but I mean, you can be tempted to waste a bunch of time on Netflix every day, especially these days.
Yeah. I've got this backlog of stuff I haven't been watching because I've been too busy on the road and stuff. So I kind of feel excited. I finally watched BoJack Horseman, which everyone's been talking about for years. But I never had time to actually watch it. And then that was one of the first things. I'm like, okay, let's go into my phone, look at all these things that people have been telling me to watch for 2 or 3 years, and started going through the list. Yeah. And that was amazing. And now I feel almost reluctant. I've watched so many good things that now I'm like, well, what's going to top that? That was incredible. And then there is something that always, you're like, oh, this is awesome too. It's hard for me to wrap my head around how great all the things that come through the TV can be. And it is a little bit terrifying because I feel like it can be, you can waste so much time watching that stuff.
Is it really wasting time if you're taking it in and it's inspiring you? Because BoJack Horseman is brilliant.
Yes, that's true. That felt thought-provoking and creatively inspiring and all those good things. So maybe that's not a waste of time because it gets you. Yeah. I was still thinking about this morning. I watched it weeks ago now, and I was thinking about stuff from it. So, yeah, that's a good point. I suppose it's a balance,
sorry.
Right? It's just a balance thing.
I think the three of us all create things. You have to have an input and an output phase, I think. So if you're inputting good stuff like that, then you're going to output good stuff also, I feel like.
Like food poop.
Sounds like the bridge of eggplant emoji.
No, that's the bridge of 2 inches you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
It's hard. I make a lot of weird squealing noises in a lot of my thoughts. I'm just here to help you out.
You're right. How do you feel about performing something?
Oh, right. I forgot. Oh, it's so great. I forgot, but my guitar is right over there next to the horse I just threw across the room.
Okay, if we do that?
It's okay if we do that. Yes. I'm going to go get it, though. Okay. You can talk shit about me for the next 30 seconds.
And wait, please take those out. Oh, Alexi.
Oh, this is great.
This is great. I really did need this.
Yeah, nice to see friends.
Nice to see both of you.
Yes.
Not that she can hear that. Okay, here we go. Shirley, you don't have to put those in. Okay.
Did you guys see my butt?
No, it's blurry. You look like Japanese porn right now.
My butt. I totally had hentai butt. That's cool. Oh God. Just edit this 20-minute blank where I can't remember anything that I've ever written.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that. I go to that one a lot. That's a good one. Sure. Okay. I got it.
Okay.
This song is called Kevvy and Alexi Are Stupid Assholes.
Oh, favorite.
Jazz. I'm just... Is that guitar coming through okay?
Yeah.
That didn't sound very enthusiastic.
Yeah. I think that's as good as it's going to get.
Yep.
And that's the name of my next album. Shirley's final album. Well, that's all I've got. Good night. This is a song about touring. Just a little bittersweet right now, but in a way it's kind of positive because I've had a hard time with some of the touring I've been doing, particularly in the United States of America. It used to be a place I'd have a lot of fun in, and then it got weird.
Yeah.
Because it had this weird impact on my love life. American boys, you only want me for my citizenship. To Canada, you want a one-way trip. Your nation is on fire, rising with the smoke. Way up high, up to my borderline. You want to give it a little poke. You say you love my heart, you love my body, love my mind. You say you cannot find a gal in your own land that is as good a gal as I ask you to say naughty things, but much to my surprise, you moan and whisper, I'm getting so naturalized. You say your heart is kind, your heart is honest, heart is true. But I can see you calculating how your money is gonna jump up in value. You want Medicare and gun control, and loving me is the tax. I wish that I could trust you to just use me for sex. Is that too much to ask, American boy? You clear your browser history of all you read, but I still find immigration papers underneath the bed. You casually mention that I could be an American too. Well, okay, yeah, I guess, I mean, no thanks. All the Yankee boys that came before, I kicked every one of them out my front door. Sat on my Chesterfield, cried into my poutine. Another victim of this new American dream. Well, I thought that they were into me, thinking how they red, white, and blew me away with cunnilingus, which is the technical term for performing oral sex on a vulva. I know it's weird to just break down in the middle of the song and unpack an innuendo like that, but I know a lot of people listen to this in America and their sex education is really lacking. So I'm just taking this opportunity to get the right information out there. Cunnilingus, American boy, if you're willing to take this all the way, is a good Canadian gal somebody you betrayed? But if you only want to mess around with me, that suits me just fine. 'Cause I'll visit for a while, then I'll head back north in style. My face will have a smile, cheap gas for every mile, and a trunk so full of wine as I leave you in exile. Oh, you hot Yankees got a little spot, a permanent resident of my heart. But that's it.
Woo! So good. I love that song.
Me
Thank
too.
you.
You're such a good singer.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's usually what people say when they have seen my show but don't like the humor.
Well, I think
know
you're
that-
funny, and I think you're a good singer.
I know that's not true in your case, but it's such a it's so polite. Like they're being nice. They're trying to, and I think it's good to always find something good in every show you see. That's what I like to do. Always find something you can be like, that was good.
Yeah.
And I think for people who are, for whatever reason, not into this stuff I'm talking about, for them to still be like, I really like your singing voice. Nice way of saying, well, I'm upset at everything you said with your voice, but I like the way it sounded when you did it.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful of those people.
Yes.
Okay, Shirley, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I hope
Very
that
nice
you
to see you.
stay healthy and happy and good. I'm gonna go down to the grocery store now and open cough on all of the vegetables.
I think that's the right decision that you could make.
I just do that until they make me leave, and then I get human contact. I'm just, anything to be touched.
Touched everything.
Listen to Decoxification. Listen to Corona Vibes. You have a new video coming out.
I do. I don't know when though. I gotta fucking call that guy.
Yeah.
But
It's coming out soon. Thank you very much for coming on. Nice to see you, young Alexi.
Nice to see you both.
And we'll see you next time.
Let's end this by all coughing with our open mouths together. Oh,
Okay.
you were about to do a sign off and I ruined it.
No, this is better. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you for listening to the Comedy Here Often podcast. I've been your host, Kevvy. Make sure to subscribe to Shirley on social media and make sure to follow us on social media at Comedy Here Austin on all platforms. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube. We'll see you next week. Bye.